What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a couple of special guests in the building. Mr. Perfect Game himself out of Grambling, Mr. Shemar Page, and his head coach, Davin Pierre. Hey, fellas, I hope you guys are having a good night. Thank you all for joining me.
Yes,
We're
sir.
excited to be here, man. Excited to be here.
No problem, no problem. And hey, this is pretty big because Shemar, you did something that was remarkable, something that's only been done a few times in the history of college baseball. And we're going to talk all about that game. But before we get to the perfect game that you had against Alcorn and the offensive explosion coach that your team had during that same game, Shemar, I want you to talk to me about your baseball journey, just kind of how you got started playing the game, who kind of first put a ball or a bat in your hand, and how did that all start up?
I started playing baseball around the age of 4. I got my first bat around the age of 3, and it kind of just started there. Honestly, I tried to play other sports, tried basketball in junior high, football in rookie league, and it never really just panned out. Never really had a passion for anything else, and as I kept playing baseball, I got better and better. I kind of started playing a level ahead, or whatever age group, and ended up going through high school, and then I started out my collegiate career at Pearl River. Those 2 years went great under head coach Michael Avalon, and then I decided to transfer to Louisiana Tech. And obviously, my first year at Louisiana Tech, COVID happened, and the second season, I ended up coming in to the fall needing rotator cuff surgery. So I only had one season left after all that, after everything that happened, and I really needed to be somewhere where I was going to get maximized out of all the potential that I had on both the offensive side and defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, that's kind of why I decided to leave. And then I'd already graduated. So Coach Pierre came into the picture soon after.
Now, Coach Pierre, let's go to that. What was it about Shemar? Someone who obviously had some trials and tribulations during his college journey as far as an injury and COVID. What was it about Shemar and his talent that you saw that made you want to have him a part of your baseball team? I think you muted yourself.
Shemar, we've seen Shemar. I watched Shemar all through, college at Pearl River. So had an opportunity to, didn't have a real opportunity to recruit him, like talking about. Obviously there were some other schools on him. And then we were doing some other different things, but I had seen him, I heard about him and knew about him. And, I knew that, there was some situations at Louisiana Tech that, I believe that he wasn't seeing the type of playing time that was the type of caliber of player he was, whether it was pitching or whether it was on the offensive side of it. So, when he jumped into the transfer portal, I was immediately like, nah, man, we need to get this guy, because if we can get him, he can really help us and be a really impactful player for us. So, I had to talk him out of it. Now he's not going to approve of this, but I had to talk him out of it, man. He wanted to go to another school. We're not going to say what school that was, but I had to talk him out of it, man, and get him to understand that, man, this was an opportunity for him to be able to come here and live out a dream and be able to accomplish all the goals that he had set before him. And I told him, I said, look here, man, you're going to be our Friday night guy. You're going to come in here, man. You can be our Friday night guy, man. When you're not pitching, you're going to swing the bat. And, I just had a lot of confidence in him, man. And he is shown that he was more than capable of handling the task of being a two-way guy. And I can arguably say this, Jeff, with a lot of passion and a lot of truth, that I think that, and I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm advocating for it, that, he'd be up for the Golden Spikes Award, man. I don't think a lot of players in the country in college baseball, man, are having a really good ERA, top 5 in the strikeouts, and also, man, hitting over 340, 350 in the lineup. So I'm advocating for him. He's one of the better players in the conference, one of the better players in the country, and I think that, I'm just really happy to have him at Grambling State University.
Absolutely. It's high praise from your coach Shemar, and but hey, it's deservedly so. When you're doing the things that you've been able to do and accomplish this season on the diamond and out there on the field and with the bat, it's worthy of that. Now, Shemar, I want to ask you, when it came to choosing, you talked about some of the reasons why you chose Grambling. Just what has your experience been like at Grambling, both on the field and as a part of the HBCU culture?
Getting there originally, my worry was how the team was going to react to a guy from right down the road coming to school right before the season gets ready to start. because I know how I would feel if I was on a team. I would want to know more about that guy because, I mean, throughout the fall is kind of where you build that chemistry with a team. So me having already experienced 4 years of college already, I knew that what I had to do was just come in team per se and just show them that I'm about what I say I'm about. I'm coming here to work and I'm coming to help us win. But as far as the HBCU culture, I mean, everybody is so welcoming. I mean, from day one, I'm talking now. It's crazy. Within a 4-month time span, I feel like I know cafeteria ladies, janitors, and to me, that's kind of what I'm used to. It's like a close-knit community.
And that's awesome to hear. That's awesome. That's pretty much what you hear from folks that have been able to experience different things at Grambling and at other different universities. But Shemar, obviously we got to talk about the game. This is the game against Alcorn, 16-0. First of all, an offensive output. You guys just kind of went crazy. No disrespect to the Braves, but that was a heck of a performance. But a perfect game, only the 34th perfect game in college baseball history. Just take me back to that day. What did you eat that morning? Was you feeling that? Like what? Just take me back to that day, and how were you able to go out there and perform the way that you did?
And see, first, the more I talk about this, the more that it starts to sink in. And I hadn't mentioned this yet, but I was coming off of probably my worst outing of the season. I haven't mentioned that to anybody else so far. I just thought about it.
Tell them the truth, man. Tell them the truth.
Coming off my worst outing of the season. So I really had to make up for that. So coming into that game, I mean, my focus was just trying to pound the zone. And I knew our offense was going to put up runs. And when they are playing that well, I feel like it's easy to pitch with a lead or easier. And they made every play possible. I mean, at that point, I didn't really know what was going on until about the 5th inning of the game or so. I think I got down on the batter, 3-1. And I took a peek at the scoreboard, and I saw this 0 in the hit column, and that's kind of when I was like, all right, I guess we're doing it.
Now, Coach, from a coach's perspective, what was going on through your mind as you see, your pitcher going out there and having the game of his life? Were you keeping track that he had a perfect game up until that point?
I didn't know about the perfect game probably about the 6th, and only because you look at the scoreboard. Everybody knows that the no-hitter is. We know the no-hitter is up. Now, our pitching staff has been pretty good this year, but we've had a tendency to walk people from time to time. So I'm looking at my pitching coach and I'm asking him. I'm saying, how many guys has Shemar walked? And he looks at me and he says, "Man, I'm gonna tell you after the game." And I knew then, we about to do something special. We about to do something special when he said that. So it's kind of surreal because I've never been a part of a perfect game before. I've been a part of 2 no-hitters that's been thrown, while I've been in coaching at Grambling, but I've never been a part of a perfect game. So it's really surreal that you're like, man, this guy, we're in a situation right now where he has an opportunity to throw a perfect game. And when he threw that last pitch and that ball was put in play, you can see everybody out the dugout. I wish we had video of it, but you can see everybody in the dugout just kind of going through the motions with Cam Buford as he throws the ball across the diamond. They were almost on the field before the ball even got to first base, and then that's when the celebration began, man. And, doused them with water, doused the cooler water on it, man. And, everybody was just excited about that, just being a part of that moment of the 34th perfect game in college baseball history. And I've been coaching for 13 years, man. And, I know the game has been played longer than I've been coaching. So you're talking about something that has not been done before in a very, very long time. We're excited about that. Extremely excited about that. Extremely excited that it happened at Grambling State University too.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like you said, this has only happened 33 times prior to your accomplishment, Shemar. Just like you said, it's starting to sit in more and more the more you talk about it. Just if you could take me back to one more time to that day when that final out, like you said, Coach said it was put in play. Where was your heart beating? Did it skip a step? Was it slow motion? Just take me back to that final out, that final pitch. What was all kind of going through your mind during that final out?
Again, I got behind on batter 3-1, and I want to say it was 3-1 count when he swung at this pitch, maybe. And I'm not sure. Like I said, I knew about the no-hitter. So I watched Cam field the ball as I knew he would. I did kind of create a little bit of a throwing lane. That way he couldn't miss up the line. So I kind of just stayed on the mound. I was watching too close, and like before I can even turn to our dugout was on my back, just pushing me towards first baseline, and that's the story. Like I said, I'm still taking it all in myself. I promise you.
So what has it kind of been like for you since that perfect game? I mean, obviously you guys have had some games, since then. But what has your family said? What is the campus, the fans, baseball world like? Kind of has it been like for you since you're only the 34th time this has ever happened in college baseball?
I don't really like technology that much, so I kind of turn all my notifications off, and I check them at the end of the night. I don't know I don't really know what that says about me, but I just can't handle all that all the time. So I mean, but as far as my family, I mean, they're super proud. They're excited to come down and watch the series this weekend, which is my focus for right now. And but it's crazy. It's crazy at the exposure that this one thing got, and I'm happy that it's here. I'm happy that it's here at Grambling.
Absolutely.
Listen, let me say this. We got some kids. We got some kids coming to our game on Sunday. Some high school baseball players coming to our game on Sunday, and I think they're from Woodlawn High School in the Shreveport area. And one of the requests for the kids was that Shemar, they take a picture with Shemar, and then he gives them pitching lessons. So that's the type of vibe. That's the type of vibe it's been. He'll be a little humble about it, and he should be. But I'm gonna tell him the truth, man. They got a lot of people that are just so impressed with it, and and just excited to see him. He took a picture with one of the guys that paints the lines for us on the field, man, and so everybody, when I talk with a lot of people on campus, they're talking about Shemar Page and the Grambling State University baseball team. So, that moment has brought a lot of notoriety to our baseball program and to our university. And I think that, it's been a good thing. It's been a good vibe for our campus. And, hopefully that we can continue on this type of success by winning some games and have an opportunity, man, to maybe win a championship.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Coach. Just I understand, like, when this happens, this is something that extends past just like the SWAC, right? Like, this isn't just a SWAC specific accomplishment. This is a national accomplishment. When we're talking about 33 times previous to you, this has only been done. This is not just HBCU or SWAC college baseball. This is in the history of college baseball. That's why I'm glad we're able to have this conversation and give you your just due, because I mean that is incredible. Coach, I want to ask you, how is it the team? How are you guys able to, you have 13 wins in conference and you're heading to like the final stretch of the season, the home stretch of the season. How are you guys able to take this and this accomplishment in the, obviously you guys have a really good offensive team. How are you able to take this accomplishment by Shemar and kind of use it during the final stretch of the season and, like you said, bring home a championship?
I told the guys in the last meeting that we had that now they have a responsibility. They have a responsibility to uphold the standard of Grambling State University. And I talk to them all the time about not just representing that G on your hat or that G on your chest, but representing the G that's within your heart. So I tell them, man, this is the type of moment that, when that notoriety is on us, is when we have to step up to the plate and finish the season, man. So, we have a big series coming up against Southern this weekend at home. It's alumni weekend. A lot of folk are going to be out. We got a lot of different activities going around. And I think it's up to us and our responsibility, man, to go out and to represent so that people see that, obviously we got a guy that threw a perfect game and that we have a really good high octane type offense, but man, we can put together wins and we can represent not only Grambling State University, but HBCU baseball on a larger scale. And I think I talked to you before, but I don't think it gets the notoriety that it should because of obviously we're in the SWAC. And I think a lot of PWIs and a lot of Power Fives, if this would have happened, it would be all on ESPN and across the country. So we want to not only give Shemar his just due, but we also want to show the world that, man, historical Black college baseball, man, is here, and it's a good brand of baseball. We have really good players, we have really good talent, and we should be recognized and exposed the same way that it happens for the schools that don't look like us.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that is what we are trying to do here. Like, we'll definitely give you your just due, because when something that takes place that's this special, it deserves the notoriety. It deserves, the flowers. It deserves everything that it deserves, because this is special. This doesn't happen every day. This doesn't happen every year. This only happened 33 times prior to Shemar. So I mean, we gotta make it. We gotta definitely blow it up. Shemar, I want to ask you. Coach talked about the series against Southern that's taking place. This is the Louisiana rivalry. This is a SWAC rivalry. Southern, Grambling. Have you fully been able to ingest what takes place as far as the rivalry of the boot between the two Louisiana schools with Southern and Grambling? And are you prepared for this weekend?
I definitely got my first taste of it when we went to Baton Rouge. Didn't leave with the best taste in my mouth, but I'm very, very, very optimistic about this upcoming weekend.
And Coach, I want to ask you, as someone that's been at Grambling for a long time, just, what are your expectations for your team moving forward? Like you said, you talked about the notoriety and the extra cameras and the extra lights that you are getting. It's not what you deserve, but it's definitely more than probably usual. But moving forward, what are your expectations for your team throughout the rest of the season?
I think for us, man, is for us to buckle down defensively, and then for us to really get some better outings out of our bullpen. Obviously, man, offensively we're really good. We got some guys that can swing the bat. And we're ranked, I think, 7th in the country in average, in batting average. We probably lead our conference in home runs. We probably lead our conference in average and things of that nature. So, but in order for us to win a championship, you win it with pitching and defense, man. So if we can buckle down on the defensive side of it, man, and field the ground ball, throw it across the diamond, and make the routine plays in a routine fashion, and get quality outings out of our bullpen, I think that we can set ourselves up in the second half to not only win some games, but have an opportunity to win the Western Division title and go into the tournament as the number 1 seed.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Coach Davin Pierre and Shemar Page of Grambling State baseball. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Now, Shemar, I have to ask you, it's kind of hard to top a perfect. I mean, honestly, you can't top a perfect game. But what are your expectations, not only for yourself but for your team moving forward throughout the rest of the season?
Win. That's I'm serious. The one thing that I've gotten used to my past years in college is winning, and once you get some of it, it's hard to just turn that off. Coach Pierre says that every day you win championships with men, and that's what I believe we got a team of. So it's all these personal achievements that are coming. I'm grateful for them. I know that, like I said, it's still sinking in how rare it is, but winning with the guys in the locker room, that's my focus every day I pull up to the field.
Now, Shemar, I have to ask you, when you do something like this, it's pretty special, but take me back one more time to your youth. When did you realize that, hey, I'm actually pretty good? Around what age or what grade or what level did you realize that I do pretty good at this baseball thing?
When it really set in that I would play collegiately was probably I'd probably say my junior year of high school. Junior year. I started getting a lot of texts from junior colleges in Mississippi. And once I decided I knew I was going to go JUCO, it kind of just spread out around Mississippi, honestly. And from there, I knew I was going in for 2 years at least, because I wanted to graduate there. And I knew I would further somewhere else. So it's a wild ride we've been on so far.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Coach, I'll get you out on this. Just if you have a message to Gram fam, if you have a message to your fans that are watching, and what is your message to them as far as your team moving forward and heading into this final stretch of the season?
We're gonna play hard. We're gonna play with energy. We're gonna play for Grambling, but more importantly, we're gonna play so that we can represent not only for our university, man, but for every young African-American kid that is decided to play baseball. One of my goals for this program is that we be the first historical Black college in Omaha. And I know that may seem far-fetched to a lot of people because of the fact of who you would be playing, and you're playing against some of the top teams in the country. But I believe, with this movement and of our kids finally deciding that, man, I can go to an HBCU, I really believe that that's going to trickle down to the baseball side of it, man, and we'll be able to get those kids that are those big time athletes that want to go to a Power 5, but they decide they want to come to a Grambling State University. And I believe that when they watch us play, they see how energetic we are. They see how much fun we having on the baseball diamond. They see people like Shemar Page that has made the transition from a PWI to an HBCU, and they see the type of success that he's had. We've had a lot of guys that have the opportunity to get drafted at Grambling State University, and we have a few now. But we just want to show the world that, man, HBCU baseball is something to be reckoned with, and you can accomplish all your goals and dreams there, along with getting the education. And this is the last thing I'll say, Jeff. For us, man, the baseball side of it at Grambling State University is always the bonus side of it, man. For us, it is about building better husbands, better fathers, better providers for their family. We got to get these boys ready for the game of life, which is much harder than the game of baseball, much harder than throwing a 3-2 fastball or 3-2 breaking ball for a strike, much harder than getting the bunt down, and much harder than hitting with runners in scoring position. My job as the leader of this program is to make sure that all these guys are ready for the greatest game of them all, which is the game of life. So that's what we want to teach these guys. That's what we want to have the impact on them outside of the game. And we hope that, when the fans come, they see a product of men that are as good off the field as they are on the field.
Absolutely, Coach. And I think that's exactly what you're doing. Shemar, congratulations on the accomplishment. I hope you're able to soak in reap every reward from this, and good luck to coaching yourself on the rest of the season at Grambling. I know you guys will hit the final stretch really, really hard. 13-5 in conference, 18 wins on the year. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your night joining me. Once again, this is Shemar Page, Mr. Perfect Game over there at Grambling State, and head coach Davin Pierre. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.